It's easy to get caught up in the endless clamor for greater performance when shopping for a handgun. There's always a new semi-auto coming out that promises better reliability, greater capacity, smaller size, more gadgets, and yada yada yada. But with revolvers, you generally know what you're getting. Maybe a new cartridge here and there, better sights, or advanced materials to save weight while increasing strength. But the wheel guns of today are otherwise identical in form factor and function to those from well over 120 years ago. There's something about the certainty and simplicity that is just comforting, and that's why people are increasingly turning to them for self-defense even today. If you're thinking of picking up a new EDC gun, this video is sure to help. I'll be taking you through a list of 8 of the best concealed carry revolvers out there. We'll get to our list right away, but before we do, please consider supporting our channel as a member. Your channel membership will go a long way toward helping us make our content even better and reach a wider audience. In return, you'll get access to exclusive videos, upcoming guides, and detailed downloadable how-tos. Thanks for thinking of us. Now, let's check out those revolvers. The first revolver on our list is an interesting one, but one that I think has some genuine utility as an all-around concealed carry gun. The Taurus 380, available in matte black or brushed aluminum, packs 5 shots of 380 ACP into its tiny frame. Now, you revolver know-it-alls out there are probably already shaking your heads. The 380 cartridge case is rimless, meaning a typical extractor can't lift empties or live rounds free of their chambers. You are quite right, and that's why Taurus has included their stellar clips both for functionality and for speedy reloading. The barrel is just 1 3/4 inches long, but still produces good performance from the relatively high-pressure 380, and the overall length of just 6 inches and overall height of 4.5 inches, combined with a 16-ounce unloaded weight, makes this a truly packable snubby. If you're already sitting on a large stockpile of 380, or just want something a little easier to shoot than the 38 Special, the Taurus 380 is a viable choice. Taurus has set a suggested price of $560.99, but you'll be able to get them cheaper than that. A gun so tiny it looks like a joke or a party favor, the North American Arms Ranger II in .22 Magnum is a special-purpose gun for carry, and one of the only revolvers in its category. Despite its diminutive size, this 5-shot single-action top break is expertly made and demonstrates superb fitting and finishing. Measuring not even 3 inches high and barely 5 inches long, the unloaded weight is a forgettable 7.5 ounces. This is no gun that you're going to set speed records with, and it's not one I would voluntarily carry if I was expecting trouble. But the fact that it can be hidden anywhere, literally anywhere, means it is a viable choice when the risk of discovery is extreme, or you need a true surprise weapon. Even out of a sub-2-inch barrel, the .22 Magnum is not to be underestimated. And not for nothing, the Ranger II is truly cool. Astounding craftsmanship on such a small scale commands a premium though, and the Ranger II has a suggested retail price of $679. Another small frame Taurus, and this one is an even smaller caliber. The matte black 942 is an 8-shot .22 LR that is perfect for recoil-sensitive folks, those dealing with injuries, or those who just want an inexpensive plinker or just-in-case gun. A 2-inch barrel and 23.5-ounce weight make it a cinch to carry. The sights, like most wheel guns of this kind, are pretty minimalistic, consisting of a pinned ramped front blade and a tiny drift-adjustable notch rear. They get the job done, but barely. The single action pull is quite crisp and clean, but there is some noticeable hitching on the double action stroke. This can be overcome by practice, or potentially changing out springs. Still, not much to complain about considering the MSRP is just $454.99. This next revolver is a big surprise, or at least it was for me. This 2-inch barrel, 6-shot .357 Magnum, available in a lustrous polished stainless finish, reminds me of a classic detective's weapon. The elegant lines, long grip peg, and proud, almost arrogant straight hammer spur make this gun a looker. Not something you would expect from Rock Island Armory. But truth be told, this Magnum snubby is made in the Czech Republic, and to my eye, seems like a loving tribute to the golden era of American double-action revolvers as codified by Colt, Smith & Wesson, and others. The long rubberized grip provides plenty of leverage to take recoil, but it does make concealing the gun a bit harder than it has to be. The iron sights are once again quite basic, consisting of a low profile and long front ramp that is pinned in, and the expected notch milled into the top strap of the frame. For close, quick work, it is plenty adequate enough. If you ask me, there aren't enough 6-shot 357 Magnum snubbies on the market, and even fewer that have genuinely classic lines. The ALS.1 from Rock Island Armory might just be the sleeper hit of the season if you're into wheel guns. MSRP is a punch in the gut at $949, but you can usually find them on dealer shelves or order them for just a hair under $700. We are halfway there and have 4 more awesome concealed carry revolvers to go. But before we move on, do me a favor and just take 2 seconds to hit like, subscribe, and the notification bell. It helps us out a ton, more than you know. And you'll also sleep easier knowing that you won't miss any upcoming videos here on All About Survival. When you hear Kimber, you think of 1911s. That's because Kimber has been one of America's most prolific 1911 makers for going on 2 decades. But the company has been steadily releasing new designs, both semi-autos and revolvers. And for my money, it is their revolvers that are holding my attention. Exhibiting extraordinarily good workmanship, possessing a supremely slick out-of-the-box trigger pull, and including features that just make sense for a modern self-defense gun, the K6XS, XS for extra small, is a compact 6-shot 38 special. Something that stands out when the vast majority of competitors' models are all 5 shots. Possessing a 2-inch barrel and weighing just a tad under 16 ounces empty, this double-action only revolver sports a low glare bead blast finish, heavily checkered and oversized push-button cylinder release, and high-visibility orange dot front sight. The rear sight is a notch in the usual spot, but it is milled into a raised protrusion to provide a cleaner, quicker sight picture with better visibility of the target. A Hogue 3-finger monogrip provides plenty of control, but is a smidge long for a revolver of this size. Considering it's just a 38, I wouldn't mind shrinking it down to a 2-finger grip in order to make it easier to conceal. The craftsmanship of the K6XS is downright impressive, and even more impressive at a price point that puts it right beside such venerable makers as Smith & Wesson and Ruger. MSRP is $679. Another 6-shot 357 Magnum snubby, the return of Colt's King Cobra, has led to much rejoicing among revolver fans. Many of them, but not quite all. Completely redesigned internals keep the excellent smooth trigger pull and snappy action, but greatly improved durability and longevity. That has upset the purists. But for those of us who actually put lots of rounds through our guns, it's worth celebrating. Compared to some of the other carry revolvers on our list, the King Cobra carry is a handful, 26 ounces unloaded with an overall length of 7 inches. This is a fair package to conceal, even with the short barrel. The gun is, though, available with a bobbed or standard hammer, depending on your preferences, and the brass bead front sight provides quick acquisition in most lighting conditions. And, like all Colts, the King Cobra carry is absolutely gorgeous and a pleasure to handle. A 5-shot 38 might be plenty for self-defense, but there is just something to be said for having 6 rounds of 357 Magnum on tap. For the discerning carrier, nothing else will do. Take home this silver snake for $899. Ruger's LCR, in all of its many guises and variants, is simply one of the most popular carry revolvers on the market, and indeed, one of the best that has ever been made. It has 2 stellar attributes that have contributed massively to its success: a partially polymer frame, or rather fire control housing, and reduced profile cylinder that slashed the weight to a feathery light 13.5 ounces, and a factory trigger that is 10 times better than it has any right to be. Seriously, the LCR's trigger is so smooth and so light out of the box that it almost feels broken. But it isn't. And despite the typical snubby sight arrangement, front ramp and tiny rear notch, these guns will really shoot if you've got the ability. These guns are durable, reliable, and will stand up to a steady diet of full power rounds. Despite its radically milled down cylinder, the LCR is plus P rated, and I can personally attest that they hold up fine. I've taken a couple through a few multi-day compact revolver courses using full power ammo, and they both ran like a top. Ruger's MSRP on the .38 Special LCR is $739, but once again, they can be found at a far nicer price, actually sitting in a dealer's showroom. The last carry revolver on our list is one of the very best. It is also one of the most hotly anticipated. Most revolver shooters are already familiar with Smith & Wesson's perennially popular 642. Alloy frame, bright metal finish, 5 shots of .38 Special. Nothing new to report here. But what is new, and certainly worth reporting, are all the upgrades and features that the 642 UC or Ultimate Carry is sporting. For starters, finally we've got proper combat sights consisting of an XS high-visibility night sight front paired up with a blacked-out generous U-notch rear for swift, sure acquisition. A small touch, but a welcome one, is gentle beveling on the front edge of the cylinder that improves holstering and reduces holster wear. This is complemented by G10 laminate finger groove grips that are both attractive and highly functional. A high horn variety, these cover the hump at the back of the frame to allow a higher hold and reduce impact on the web of the shooting hand. The bottom of the grip is also cut flush to maximize concealment, and the left grip panel is radically relieved to facilitate speed loader use. All great upgrades to be sure, but the best ones are ones you can't see in the form of an endurance package. All internal parts have been designed and optimized to maximize shooting performance and reliability. Both the hammer and trigger, along with all springs, have been refined, polished, and finished for smoothness, and that translates directly to a lighter, nicer trigger pull. This is the ultimate revolver for concealed carry, or at least the ultimate carry revolver that Smith & Wesson has ever put out. Whichever way you want to square it, the 642 UC deserves its designation. You can carry one with confidence for just $759. And that will do it for our coverage of the best concealed carry revolvers out there. We've got some relatively unknown gems, timeless classics, and the latest and greatest in high-performance wheel gun design. Now, there's just one question I've got for you concerning carry revolvers: .38 Special or .357 Magnum? Tell me which one and why down in the comments, and let the carnage begin. Before you weigh in there, do me a favor and remember to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a good one.